Hey, beautiful human. So in this video, what I want to run you through is the 6 steps that I've gone through to take a $9 customer and turn them into a $5,000 client without actually having to take any sales calls or send any DMs, get on free webinars or do any of that sort of stuff. I posted on LinkedIn the other day and there was a lot of interest on this topic. So I thought I'd give you a breakdown. But before we dive in, I just wanted to show you this little message I saw on LinkedIn as I was preparing the video, where this person, I actually know him and I've got nothing against him. I just didn't agree with the idea of this post, not the person, who was basically saying selling low ticket is stupid. Why solve a $500 problem when you can charge $5K? You don't need a niche or an offer or experience. You just need to stop undercharging. Now, the reason why I disagree with this, and if I could find the person and give them a big hug to thank them for the intro of this video, I would, is because lots of people view low ticket as like templates or prompts or Canva doodles, or, you know, there's like a big creator economy, which I actually love mingling with people like that, where they sell low ticket for a living and go for volume. Maybe they run ads or whatever. I know people who make upwards of 300K a month selling low ticket with ads. So there's nothing wrong with the model, but I think this person is referring to, you know, why not just sell high ticket? The thing for me that always sort of gets me to step in and look at this as a bit of a, somebody called me a low ticket wizard. I think for me, it's low ticket to high ticket ascension is what I'm after, right? I don't claim the wizardry. I am also, into that. But what I'm trying to say is these types of people are looking for just low versus high ticket. I think what I want to show you is ascension at the heart of what we do, because I've got like 250 clients inside Modern Maker, and all of them came without a sales call and all of that, because I'm able to take what I call the concept of the micro snack cartel, basically create a micro snack from my high ticket offer by taking something I'm already teaching clients, putting it on the front end, and then allowing them to ascend. And I've done a lot of research and funnels that I've architected for clients as well. I've done over 2,400 consult calls through LinkedIn about this sort of stuff. And what I found is the order and the sequencing matters, right? So I'm just going to thank this person for this post because it inspired me to actually add it in there. The reason being is I don't think it's stupid because I've got 3 of these guys to care for. I've also got one of these. One of these. One of these. I've also got one of these, right? There they are again. And the most beautiful of all is one of these, right? So what I'm trying to say is, even though you may be good at sales calls and DMs and outbound and all of that, the philosophy and the purpose or the reasoning why I love funnels is because it allows me to spend more time in this bucket and less time in the bucket where I have to do calls and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to share that because that's what I doubled down on. It's actually building leverage by, instead of, energy equals money, I'm just going energy plus assets equal money. And that is what builds us leverage. Now, before I dive into it, I just want to show you some doodles because I just want to thank this person who openly messaged me and said, I want to know how you do that. So this is a response to them as well. And me putting this up on January the 20th. It's now February the 5th as I record this video, where this actually happened in real time, where somebody wanted 2 payments, paid the first one. So there's different pricing mechanisms and things that we can do to make this happen. And I did that as a LinkedIn post and promised this today. You can also see some of my clients who have done that. The concept of the micro snack cartel is offer someone small snacks and then ascend them by offering them bigger and bigger snacks, right? So all of this will make sense in a second, but just showing you some examples of other people that are just going from $9 to $3K in this case, who said I'm in and then joined and I could see the transaction. And also then me showing you small to bigger snacks. So this is a small one for $9, but also if they buy everything in here, then this becomes a $257 checkout, right? So what I want to show you here is I just took a screenshot of my Stripe today, this week, right? So you can see over here, these are actual live transactions. I've just hid the names for the purpose of privacy in terms of clients, but everything in yellow is the small snacks, right? The $9 micro snacks. Everything in orange is that upsell, right? So an order bump for 58 and an upsell for 199, and I'll dive into what that means. And then everything in green is a payment plan or a pay in full, which actually this week was good because I got these two to come in yesterday and today. One was a 250 times 12 and one was a 5K pay in full. The rest of these were actually other things. So I'm like offering a workshop at the moment, but I just haven't highlighted them because they have nothing to do with this sequence of micro snacks. So just to highlight what is possible. And then here's another screenshot of what was happening before this week as well, like previous weeks. But the big shift from here is to address that person who said low ticket is silly, is some of these $9 clients over time have ended up spending upwards of 30K, 20K, 18K, you know, so that the average order value, rather the lifetime value of a $9 customer can be in brackets like these. And that's how you run an offer-driven business, right? So now that we got all of this, I'm going to shift and show you how this little diagram becomes a reality, right? So, so far so good. Hopefully that is making sense. So I've prepared this little doodle here on my iPad, and these are the 6 steps that essentially take us from $9 to 5K. So number 1 is we have an ad or a bit of organic content. So what I do is I'm going to put the word ad here and show you that I run $10 a day of ads on Instagram, for example, and they have a keyword and they send you to this $9 checkout page. What I also do is organic, right? So that is $0, but twice a week I have call to actions on my LinkedIn post, for example, that send you to the same checkout page over here that basically gets you to purchasing $9 products. Now, to our friend at the beginning of this video who said low ticket sucks, basically, if it is just $9 and that's what you're selling, then of course it's going to suck because you need more volume. And if you don't have the volume, then it doesn't work. Also, I made a huge mistake over the years before where I was offering $9 templates and prompts and things and then was wondering why there was no ascension. So the important thing here is, if I can spell today, the word we're looking to play with is ascension, right? Now, when we offer a $9 snack, if it is like something that they can just consume, let's say it's a 3-hour video, then consumption is a problem that I'm not going to get into today. But if it is like an ebook or something like that, then most people get that wrong because it doesn't do what this keyword does, which is basically sell you the what. Most people cram the how, and then they don't need you right now. But when your front end low ticket offer offers what, then basically this stems from me taking 2,420 one-to-one game plan calls. So I was like, what do I do in a game plan call? In 60 minutes, I give someone direction and insight on where they have to go. I'm telling them exactly what they have to do, but 60 minutes isn't enough for me to show them how. So in this case, if I show people what to do, I can take the premise of a game plan call and make a game plan GPT, for example. And that's a tool that asks the same questions and is programmed to serve you, trained on the 2,400 calls. I'm not saying you need that many calls, but it's just to show you that the what is basically strategy. So whether you're in coaching, consulting, a service-based business, that kickoff call of yours, that one-to-one consult that you're charging for could be a GPT, it could be a survey, it could be a prompt, it could be anything that gives people direction. And that is the key to ascension. What I will do down below is also give you access to that GPT. I'll just drop it in the comments below and you can grab it and see what I'm talking about and how these transactions make sense. Now, because we're running $10 a day of ads, I want those customers that purchase it to be more, right? I want more of them. Now, I can either spend more or I can liquidate my ad spend. So if I'm spending $10 and I get one buyer, then I've broken even, which is great. If I don't get a buyer, then I'm, negative $10 a day. But the reason why I have these upsells is if I have a day like the one I showed you earlier with the orange highlights, then I can check out with upwards of $250 in one day and go and invest those $250 back in ads, grow my email list, get more high ticket clients eventually, right? But then that makes my email list growth free with customers, not leads, people who've transacted. Now, the magic here is if I'm giving the what in the GPT or in the front end over, I'm going to just put the word front end, then the order bump should be something like a masterclass. The reason why I say that is because the masterclass gives you the how. Now, if I have the what in the front end, I can have a masterclass that shows me a little bit of the how, then the upsell here could be DIY. So order bump is show me a little bit of how, upsell is DIY, i.e., give me a template pack, give me more GPT, give me something that's going to do the work for me and fast track it, right? Depending on what it is that you want. So in my world, for example, this DIY could be like a funnel builder, right? Or an installation of a landing page or something so you don't have to build it, right? So step 2 is done. That is our sort of cart sequence, the micro snack cartel. Now, when somebody buys, people just give them an invoice and they forget about them. And I'm like, you're missing out, brother or sister. So what I do is I trigger a sequence of emails I would like to call post-purchase emails. And instead of just giving someone the random invoice and never talking to them again, these first 2 emails aim to get someone to consume. So I just get people to say, hey, did you open the thing? Did you do the thing, right? Like pocket coaching almost, or like an accountability buddy in your inbox. And then the last 2 emails, just simply ask people, do you want to go faster? What happened to me when I was doing the game plan one-on-one calls on my LinkedIn is I realized people get the game plan. They're like, thank you, Jacob. Can I work with you one-on-one to like accelerate this process? So I'm like, oh, what if I include the go faster button as a simple keyword on one of these 2 emails? And then people send me a keyword, right? It could be go faster, it could be faster, it could be whatever you want it to be. And then step 4 is instead of getting on a sales call, which I can if I want to, but I want this to be salesless, I have a Google Doc offer document that basically gives them all the details that I would have given in a sales call, right? So I tell them first, we're going to do this thing. Next, we're going to do this thing. Then we're going to do this thing. Then I might reveal the price and stuff like that. And what I used to do is go straight into step 6, which was the payment link. But I realized with these sort of 5K offers, people want a little layer of intimacy. So at the bottom of the doc, I just tell people to DM me, right? So step 5 is literally send me a DM or an email. Let's have a brief conversation. Let's see what you're up to, right? Let's see if this is a good fit both for you and for me. And then at the end of that DM exchange, then I send them the link to pay. So hopefully this is making sense, right? What I want to do is now just summarize that because I know it sounds relatively simple, but this is the entire piece of the puzzle that I sort of like spent a lot of time looking at. So number 1, we've got the ad. I say ad, but it can also be organic. It's just ads make it a lot more predictable. If you have a larger audience, then organic works as well. $10 a day is awesome. What I do here is like 10% of my strategy is ads and 90% is organic because I have 50,000 followers on LinkedIn. But people who come to me with much smaller audiences might have more weight on the ads, right? Step number 2 is basically setting up that funnel, which has a front-end product that tells you what you need to do, that has an order bump with how you need to do it. So I love doing these workshops in this case, and then you can have an optional upsell. This one is actually, I'm going to change the color on this and make it red because it is optional to have the DIY, because if you are running ads, then you want to liquidate that ad spend and invest more. So we're doing the opposite of what other people do, which is say, I have really low ad spend. I'm like, no, I want you to spend more so you can get in front of more people. Then step 3 is our post-purchase sequence, where we get people to consume and ask them if they want to go faster. Bringing us to point 4, which is what we do in our one-to-one in a document, which has another keyword, which basically says DM me or email me, so we can have a nice little exchange over there. And as soon as that is done and we approve, we actually send them a payment link. So I hope that this made sense and got your ideas spinning. I had a lot of fun sort of bringing this together with the philosophy of being more of a dad to my daughter, little Miss Anne, and my wife, and spending more time. You know, I run this business 3 days a week, where I get to have all of these sort of automated funnels and systems do a lot of the heavy lifting, but you basically need a front-end offer. You need to turn leads into customers and then customers to clients. But if you need any help, you can shoot any questions down below. I'd love it if you hit subscribe. It means the world to me to have your support, and I'll see you in the next video.